promise you polish all our signs, cause our locks are always broken. You need that view askew? You know we got you, dude. Showing gratitude and always smiling, never rude. Top 5 movie reviews and what's new. We bring in all the big guns when we coming through. Welcome to the stage. Come on, enjoy the taste. Hurry up, don't come in late. You know we love it, the sacred stage.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Live from the Secret Stash. I'm one of 3 people behind the desk today. Christian Cortez, joined always by...
It's more of a 6-foot table, but I'm Michael Zapsik, and sitting to my right is...
the awesome...
the amazing...
Joe BODNAR.
Joe BODNAR. We love having you, Joe. So Joe's back.
Good evening, everybody, and good to have you, Joe.
Yes,
Thank
Joe.
you. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it on this mischief night.
It is
Yes.
Mischief Night.
You know,
It is
we're gonna go out after this, and we're gonna egg some people.
Right? It's been
Just
a long
people,
time
not
since
even
I've
their
been
houses.
I've got like boiled cabbages in the back of my. It's like, why are you throwing boiled cabbages? Because it's mischief night.
I always tell my kids, I said, we should sneak over to my ex's house and toilet paper their trees.
Oh, really?
And they always kind of go for it. I go, nah, I can't do it.
I've got their restraining order.
You're suspect number 1?
I would be suspect number 1. That is absolutely true.
That's why you got to do the whole throw mama from the train thing, crisscross, where you get like, hey, listen, I'll get your ex-husband if you get my ex-wife.
There you go.
Hey, I didn't do it. It's not me.
I can prove I was egging some guy's house.
We can cut this part of the episode out.
Yeah, seriously. Like she's even gonna be watching this.
No, I don't think
She's
she'll be watching.
she's a regular watcher. What are you talking about?
Oh, of course.
Just like James Gunn,
Yeah, of
J.J.
course.
Abrams. They all watch the
Everyone's
show.
Dan Aykroyd.
Dan Aykroyd.
I'm telling
Bill Murray tuned in one
you.
time.
Did you say damn Aykroyd?
No, I said Dan Aykroyd.
Did you know that and this boggles my mind. He used to do a UFO centric television show, right? And he had he went outside for a smoke break, and they were
Got
recording.
abducted.
No, he didn't, but he saw 2 guys, like 2 men in black, just sitting there staring at him.
Wow.
And he's like, oh crap. And 2 hours later, that show was canceled.
Are you serious?
Swear to God, you can look it up on the interwebs. I mean, I can't speak to the veracity of that, but I can speak to the veracity of Dan Aykroyd believes that that's true. So I happen to believe Dan Aykroyd.
I believe Dan Aykroyd.
I believe that.
I
would.
Yeah.
That's too weird of a coincidence, you know?
Yeah, exactly. And even if it's made up, I want to believe Dan Aykroyd. I mean,
When was this? Did you give like a time frame? Like,
I don't know, but you can look it up.
yeah,
I mean, this is something that you're like, I don't trust you, Zapsik. I believe Dan. I believe Dan Aykroyd, not you, motherfucker. And I'm like,
there's
okay,
there's
cool.
our next T-shirt, and Dan Aykroyd we trust.
Yes, exactly. That's my bumper sticker. Dan Aykroyd, we trust.
Dan Aykroyd 2024.
Yeah, that's it. Seriously, he's my write-in vote. Although he couldn't do it because he's Canadian.
Oh, this is true.
I know, Dan. What the fuck?
I don't know.
But he voiced a treasure like, no, it doesn't count.
No.
I was like, you were Yogi Bear. Maybe that gives him enough. Like,
No, he also played Richard Nixon on Saturday Night Live. He was great too. So
I was going to write in Snoopy and Woodstock, actually.
you know, I was thinking about it, but then the Great Pumpkin came out and had some really good points. And I
Right.
was like, you know what? Maybe I might vote for him. And trust me, I'm Team Snoopy all the way. But hey, man,
I already got Snoopy on my front yard. You know, I have a mural I painted with my kids of the Great Pumpkin coming up.
Aw.
And we
he's
have it
rising
there.
out of the pumpkin patch.
Exactly. We have that, and we have the 4 ghosts from Snoopy. You know,
See,
where they're all dressed up, and you got Charlie Brown with all the holes, and you got Pigpen and Lucy.
For those who, I don't know if they remember it from the last episode where you came here, one of the big things that me and Joe bond over is our mutual love of the Charlie Brown and Peanuts characters.
Absolutely.
We love those characters. And
I love Little Debbie's cakes, so there's a strong bond here.
But oh my God, that's awesome. Honestly, the It's a Great Pumpkin Charlie Brown special is the one that like still makes me laugh to this day.
It's the best.
He's rising out of the pumpkin patch. Don't like that sound will always make me laugh. That and here I am. I had a little trouble with the scissors.
Yeah.
When he shows up and he's just a ghost full of holes.
I always say, you got to rock. I got to rock.
I got a rock.
I got to rock.
Yeah, that was always my go-to. Yeah. Hey, what'd you get for Christmas? I got a rock.
Exactly.
Unprompted, when we used to live in Howell, that was like the thing that we like. If a kid came up and said the magic word, which was, "Wait, what you got in there?" I got a rock. If they said I got a rock, they got a full size candy bar.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice. I give like handfuls.
And we would get it
helps my
every. It
diabetes.
wouldn't happen often. Sometimes we would go maybe like a year or two without it, but every once in a while, when a kid came up and said, "I got a rock," boom. Full size, full size Hershey bar, and I so good about that. Like,
My
I
parents
love
always
that.
say that they gave out full size candy bars.
Oh yeah.
He goes to Costco, gets a big thing of Hershey's, gives a big Hershey
that's
out to
awesome.
everybody.
Yeah.
You know,
But you have to go to either Costco or you have to go to like a 7-Eleven and pick up those things because they don't sell them. The only thing that they sell at like supermarkets are fun size stuff.
that is true. It's
Which
only
is
fun
pissing me
size.
off because you can never get like the full size Mr. Good bars.
Right.
But then again, how many kids are like, I really want a Mr. Good bar?
I'd like a Charleston Chew. That was my
Charleston
favorite.
Chew was always great. You know what? My worst, besides the Necco wafers and all those like nasty, here, have a
Necco
box of.
wafers were like that bad. Like, it's not the
They
worst.
were. Oh, yes, it was.
They're not
That
the
and
worst
raisins.
thing. Raisins was. I think raisins is the worst.
Raisins is
Like
just
raisins in your trick or treat bag.
yeah,
Yeah, that's
like a
terrible.
raisins or apples. Apples you could chuck at things. Apples
Right.
you could hey, here, have an apple, have a banana.
But then they ruined it in the 80s because they were putting razors in apples
there was like
and stuff like
two
that.
people who
I know,
did
but
that.
I'm just saying, they
And
ruined
then-
it for everybody.
And
You
ruined
get-
it for all of
yeah,
us.
you get home. Oh, there's a razor in there. Get rid of that. Boom, done.
Yeah,
you
and
know?
then everybody just assumes that there's a razor in there. And it's like, I couldn't get that lucky. Or you get the,
Lucky.
seriously, what?
I think a dentist did it. That's what it happened.
most likely
They wanted you to eat all that candy
Yeah,
so you would still keep them in business.
There's a dentist in town who pays by the pound for candy,
All
and he
right.
sends it overseas.
Well,
But he gives you cash. It's like 5 cents a pound, and I'm like,
Hmm.
you got to go. And fun size sucks, and they don't weigh much,
right.
and you have to go like many times around the block to get like a substantial like 20 pounds. And what are you getting? Like $1?
Yeah, I guess so.
But he's buying in volume.
It's for a good cause. The numbers ain't adding up.
I don't know.
No, exactly. And no, it's for a great cause.
Yeah.
He's sending the stuff overseas. And
Yes.
he's got a big outlay, and it's a dentist. And I'll even say it. It's Zeke's dentist over on
Cause I'm a
Zeke's
dentist.
dentist. So yeah,
I want to give a momentary shout out to everybody who's tuning in. So Josh Mundal, Carlos, Silver Knight, Kyle. What's going on, guys? Dennis, 3 Alarm Comics says Heidi Ho. And 3 Alarm Comics, I'm assuming, did you say moon pies was the worst thing?
moon pies. A lot of people like moon pies. I'll tell you what my least favorite of the candy bars were Chunkies.
Yeah.
You remember Chunkies?
No, I don't remember.
Chunkies were these. It was like a block of chocolate with raisins and nuts in it.
You got to remember, like when I started trick or treating when I was a kid, I think candy got lazier. Like it really
Of course
came
it
down to like Reese's, Hershey, the Kisses,
I
Skittles.
thought you were talking
and that's
about
it.
like monkeys, not candy, like Reese's monkeys. Yeah, them Reese's monkeys.
Yes, that's exactly what I was talking.
so-
But like no,
I
like
thought-
like I think that the variety kind of went away like over the years. Like there's like
Which sucks because it really is. It's disturbing because we grew up and we had great candy.
Right.
We had the marathon bars, which
Yeah.
look like DNA strands, and it was caramel and chocolate, and it's delicious. And they make it still. Cadbury makes it over in England called Curly Whirlies.
Wow.
They are delicious, and I've had Curly Whirlies. As a
What's
matter of
the
fact,
Stash's address again? So if
65 Broad Street, Red Bank, New Jersey. Any of our English friends decide to
I'm not a big candy person. I like sweet tarts. I like
sweet tarts are awesome.
yeah, sweet tarts, Skittles, Spree. Remember Spree? Spree were
Spree
great.
were fantastic.
Oh, man,
Yes,
Spree was the best.
chewy. Oh my God, they were amazing.
I was more of a hard candy kind of person. I would always sneak that into the movie theater when I was like 10, 11 years old.
Yeah.
You go to the 5 and dime, buy a roll instead of spending $10 at the movie theater.
Right. You know what? Spree became chewy, but then but originally they were like buttons.
Okay.
They were like sweet tart buttons, but they were much smoother than a sweet tart. Sweet tart was like chalky.
Right.
yes,
And then you had the Spree, which had that nice, probably beetle, ground up beetle shell coating on them, which was awesome.
And then he probably had the ghetto
so
version where it was on a
specific.
strip of paper. And it was like little dots.
all those things. Oh
and then
my
you like
god!
stick the dot in your mouth and pull it off. Do you
the
remember that?
buttons? Oh, they
Yeah,
were
like-
horrible. And you're eating paper. And you're like, nah.
Yeah,
nah.
you'd be eating paper and everything. It was terrible.
We got fiber ways you didn't even think about, Christian.
You can apparently get Curly Whirlies at World Market.
Oh.
Scott, you are the man. Love you, buddy.
Oh my god! And we got some love from Kentucky.
Oh,
From
thank
Daniel.
you, Daniel.
Thank you.
Carlo, Christopher Hewitt's in house. Hello, Christopher. Kyle, what's going on, buddy?
Thank you guys so much.
Yeah,
for tuning
love
in.
having you here. Joe, I'm gonna throw to Christian to throw to you because we now Joe has a comic book auction coming
Yes.
up. That's actually why don't you pull up Josh Mundal's?
Ooh, yes, he did. Have,
There we go.
He did have.
So
a
we
comment.
have Josh saying, I'm bidding on the Bodnar auction lots 151, 178, 187. How high should I go? You should go high.
Absolutely.
You should go really, really
All
high.
the way up, man.
Yeah.
And don't worry, we take credit cards if you
There
if
you go.
If you run
Go high. There are for some
How
people,
high?
how high? Very high. I'm going to be
How high, Snoop
doing the
Dogg?
color commentary on this auction coming up.
Yep.
Ooh.
Yeah,
next Wednesday,
next Wednesday I'm going to
November
be.
6th.
We're not here. I won't be here.
Okay.
I'll be up at Joe's doing color commentary for
Do you wanna
these
do-
auctions.
Do you want to bring some stuff? Maybe pod? I don't know. Figure that out.
We can figure anything out.
We can figure a lot of stuff out. Sure.
That's in the future. So
Yeah, no.
that's
that is in
future
the
us's
future.
problem.
That's future use problem. I mean, we can bring all of the stuff from here, and I have no problem with
There
that.
you go. But yeah, no, it's a very large collection. There's two collections in there actually, but one collection we picked up over a year ago was 250 long boxes. If you can believe
Insane.
that. Broke my back. I think by the time I loaded that last long box of comics, I said, I don't want to look at a comic ever again. I mean, that's what it came down to. They were heavy, man. Plus, not even that my truck was so loaded and weighed down. Think about 250 long boxes in the back of a trailer. All right. Heavy. Yes.
So you're cruising around town going.
I was cruising, hoping that I'm not going to get pulled over and get like a overweight ticket because it had to be at least 30,000 pounds in my
Jesus.
15,000 pound limit truck.
Johnny and I bought.
250 long
We
boxes.
didn't get that many. We got about 125 short boxes. We bought a collection, 125 short boxes, and we were up in. Good God, where the hell were we? We're up in like Madison, New Jersey, and we had to drive down. And Johnny's truck was humming and strumming. Holy crap, we had
Oh,
everything. And I've driven with John. I drove with Johnny 14 hours from here to Chicago, and it's a pretty powerful truck. So,
Carla wants to know, Mike,
the
what's
average-
the average weight of one full long box?
I would have to say like 60 pounds.
I think so.
At least 60
So
pounds.
if you pull them yourself, you're dying. You know,
Yeah.
usually me and my other guy will carry them in together. We'll grab it either side, but I think at least 60 pounds,
Yeah.
70 pounds. So you times that, it's a lot, right?
Holy-
Oh, my God, yes.
250.
Holy God, yes.
That's 25,000 pounds. If they're 100 pounds a piece, that's 25,000 pounds. So it's got to be close to that. I would say if they're 70 a piece, that's almost 18,000 pounds of comics.
Oh my God.
Yeah, no, man,
You're
solid.
carrying around a legit SUV of comic
Yeah.
books.
Yeah.
And,
Nah.
and the boxes that Joe's talking about were packed.
Oh, they were packed,
Full.
man. I mean, this guy bought in bulk through the 90s and 2000s, and I think he had deals with comic book stores where he would just go in every week and get one copy of everything, sometimes two. He has almost every variant copy of every single kind of comic run.
Sometimes 6 copies.
Yeah, exactly.
And if I may,
Yeah.
there. I was going through them,
Sorting them and
getting them ready, and there were quite a few Jay and Silent Bob old timey stickers from
Whoa.
the old stash over
Yeah.
on 67.
When you were on Monmouth.
Yep.
Wow.
It was 67, 69 Broad Street. I don't want to say 69, but because we're a
Snitch.
family. Yeah, we're a family.
We're,
yeah.
we're a fucking family
We're
show.
a fucking family show, for fuck's sake. I don't want to fuck around with that fucking shit. But yeah, there were
You heard it here first, kids.
and then I recognized the name. I was like, Okay. All right. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
But yeah, no, 250. We got through half the collection, maybe a little more than half, right?
I hope.
80,
oh my
80
God.
man hours later.
Oh my God. That was such
and
a short.
couple shots in my hot tub after carrying
And
them all.
it's so funny because I felt like I was failing you. I'm like,
You weren't failing? No, absolutely not.
No.
It's overwhelming, is what it
Oh
is.
my God.
So I mean, it's,
But you have to plow through. You have the way to, and this is my philosophy in life, Christian. The way to get through something is to get through, not get over. Get
Just go
through.
through
You have to go through it.
yes,
You have to go through it. You can't go over. You can't go around.
right.
Otherwise,
You'll never get through it.
Okay.
This is
So-
true. But yeah, no, I mean, if you think about it, it was a room. We have them in a room half the size of your store here, and it was just all over the place. And
Oh dear Lord, yeah. But there were, I mean, on this thing, and there is some really great
Hello
stuff.
from Alejandro.
Alejandro, what's happening, buddy? I wanted, man, I really, Alejandro, love the movie. Love the movie. It was fantastic. So anybody out there, this past weekend was the Smodcastle Film Festival, and the Unexpecteds was playing on Friday night, and I was able to grab my youngest son Daniel, and we went over and we watched it. And I know you were telling me that this is a great movie, and I trust you. You know I trust you.
Yeah.
But damn, this was. I was like, oh man, I know those guys. I know that guy. I know that other guy. I was
know
like,
that
this
person.
I was like, this is fantastic. This is amazing. And well, thank you. I'm just gonna put this right here. But well done, Alejandro, and other Alejandro. You were fantastic in it too. I mean,
Wasn't he?
amazing.
Didn't he kick ass?
He kicked ass. And
And took names.
and I'm sitting there going, I'm like, I want him to be my new best friend. So
He kicked
Alejandro's
ass
my
because he
new-
ran out of bubble gum.
There you go. Yes, and he was tired of taking names. So there you are. So yes. So
if you-
my two
if you-
new best friends.
If you have an opportunity to
Yes,
see this movie,
see the unexpected.
please go see it in a theater where it rightfully needs to be seen. It is a wonderful flick. So proud of you, Alejandro.
Yes,
Did
proud
the-
of all you guys.
Everyone.
Everyone. Yes,
Oh,
it was
did
a
you
lot of
did you
fun.
hear that it won?
Yes, it won the best comedy feature.
at Smodcastle
I'm
Film
so
Festival.
proud of you guys.
Well,
Yeah,
congratulations.
and we got to get that on the big screen for Joe.
Oh,
Or you should bring Maureen down.
What to come in?
Yeah, watch the Unexpecteds. If
100%.
There
I
you
think we're
go.
gonna do. I'm gonna make that happen. We're gonna do it right.
There you go.
Smodcastle.
oh, and Scott from Scott Hoverman, our friend at 3 Alarm Comics, the horrors of processing a large collection is a pain I don't wish on anybody.
Yes.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah, man.
Oh man,
It was a lot of work, and we're not even there.
Come
Like I
on,
said,
that was legit.
Yeah,
we are.
that's how I know it was real, because I was like, damn, Zabzig channeled that.
Yep.
No.
No.
Oh my
no,
God.
No. Scott knows.
See, like, this sounds like something like you would have fun with, like, in the beginning. It's like, oh my God, look at all these comics.
Yes,
And then
that's true.
it slowly devolves into, oh my God, look at all these comics.
I'm like, oh no.
I think too, but it's like playing the lottery, and it's like you're going through each lot, and then every once in a while he'd come, it's a good book, and then
I'm like,
it brings
holy-
you back
yeah.
up, and you're
Yeah.
okay. There's a good book in there, all right? And then you go through probably another 100 or 200, and you're
Right.
like, oh, another good book.
And
Right?
the really cool thing is that I get to bond with the other people in the warehouse. 'cause
Right.
Joe will pop in. He's like, and just, hey, what's going on back here? And come back and we're like just shooting the shit. And I'm doing the sorting, but we're like talking and just getting to know people.
You're
And
like,
the-
stop interrupting the groove. We're sorting, but we're talking.
No. Because that's the nice thing about like this guy had like, this box was an entire run of something. Actually,
Oh my God.
there's-
So it was like almost all sorted already.
It was, but it's like, oh my God. And there's this one lot up, and I don't know what number it is, but I should warn people. It's the Red Sonja lot.
Yeah, it's
On
like,
Bod, go to, and it's
the first,
Yes.
in the first 15
it's
lots or so.
bodnarsauction.com, Bodnar's auctions or
No,
auction,
Bodner's auction.
bodnarsauction.com. Go through it. There's this huge, it's 2.5.
2.5 long boxes.
It's
yeah.
it's insane.
And I'll never forget. So you got that all together, and you're like, it's 2.5 long boxes. I almost had a shit fit.
Yeah,
I was like, that's a lot of shit, man. That's a lot of shit.
You're a photographer,
Well, that too, because even though it's a long box or whatever, we have to show what's in the lot, so we have to photograph it all, no matter what. Even though in this particular instance, we didn't photograph everything in every lot. So some lots you're buying, it's almost like a mystery lot. You could be getting something that's really tremendous that's mixed into the lot because there are full runs. But the way this guy had it it was just like a nightmare when you think about it, because he would take comics, put 3 in a bag, right? There was like some 3 in a bag, 4 in a bag.
Some were 3, some were 6 in a bag.
In a bag.
And I'm like, holy crap. And
I see some magic words here. It's not just Red Sonny. Transformers,
Ghostbusters.
Ghostbusters is in there.
88 miles per hour.
How much for just the full run of IDW Ghostbusters?
It's not IDW, buddy. It's not just IDW. It's 88 miles, 88
it's
MPH.
88's run?
Yep. Yes, sir.
See, you got to come.
There you go. I'm telling you, this is amazeballs. There are some things that
he had just a ton. It's full runs.
My God.
It really is a full
and
run.
multiples where you can give this stuff out for Christmas.
But but yeah, so you get two and a half long boxes, and I'm like, how are we going to photograph 2.5 long boxes? Because I can only do 20 photographs per listing, So you have to lay it out, and the photographer, Tracy, was like,
Tracy, shout out to Tracy, shout out to Tracy, and shout out to Erica, because they were like keeping me sane while I was doing this.
Yes,
and so Tracy's photographing these things, and she's like, Joe's going to kill me for this. And I'm like, you blame it on me. I said, because there is no logical way. There's no break.
Right.
There's no logical break in, and I could have done it one way. It came to me later on, but I'm like, no, because that would take the charm away from it.
Right.
So you need to have that charm. It's kind of insane, but
he's over here bidding. I love it.
All right. So anybody who bids on this,
so you even have an account.
Lot is going to die. Yes, very good. Love it.
Josh, I swear to God, like, don't play games with me today, man.
Yeah, seriously.
But yeah, no, it's overwhelming, but it is it's an exceptional collection. I mean, when you think about it, this guy is all in.
My God, yes. Oh, he's a psychotic, but he's a psychotic that I can appreciate.
There you go.
I mean, there's nothing more to it. It's like, holy crap.
Have you ever gotten a collection where you were like, oh, this is already pretty well organized? Or is this like, do you really most of the time have to go through it and be like,
so that's a good question. So I would say a majority of the collections that come in so usually if it's older stuff, it is not organized in any way, because those people did not buy it in the thought process of, let me have it in a run, let me have it this. So that you're really sorting through, and that you're really hoping for a gem. This type of gentleman, or no, most of the time it's not in there's no organization.
There's no rhyme or reason. Yeah.
No. I feel like as a collector, I would have fun organizing that stuff, and not in like a maddening way where you guys are like, what in Zodiac fuck is all this bullshit? Like with Christian's weird organization. No, like I would do it like in the runs, like how this guy had it in the boxes. Like that seems the most non-psychotic way to organize comics, at least to me.
Yes.
So I don't know. I'm just saying.
It's tough to say, because he was probably buying every week, so he would have to have 30 or 40 different boxes going at once, where he's going bang, 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 bang. Put this one in this box, this one in this box, this one in this box. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. That you would have to have space for that.
And the really weird thing is, he would probably have used most of this shit as like architectural columns.
Yes.
That was my back wall.
I've seen that before. So and another estate that we did, that the guy collected coins, and his hoard became his furniture. Like he had boxes. He did sports cards, he did coins, and he did stuff like that. And he had little boxes, like trinket boxes and cigar boxes, but he had it stacked, and then he would make a table out of the boxes, and every third box would have a stack of coins in it. And that's how this house was hoarded. I mean, that house, we took, when I kid you not, 5,000 silver dollars out of this house, and I had to look in every single box to make sure that there was no money stashed someplace. But that became part of the architecture, like you're talking about. It was part of the furniture. He would literally put these boxes and lay a table down and then build it up, and it was just crazy.
Oh no, trust me. I get it because that's what my dad did with records.
Right.
So when I think I've told this story on air, but I'll repeat it just because it's good. When we were moving, we were on our last day and we just cleaned out the basement and we thought, oh, we're done, right? And then all of a sudden I'm cleaning out like the last closet in the basement and we noticed, why is that wall loose?
Yep.
And then all
That ain't a wall.
It wasn't a fucking wall. It was a hiding spot for 4 more boxes of I shit you not, laser discs and vinyl records.
Yep.
And it was hidden away like this, like Dad's like these are the gems.
I am so sorry I didn't get to meet your dad. I got to tell you, I would have loved that, man. I'm like,
I have a feeling
God.
you guys would have gotten along
I would
very
have
well.
liked, holy shit.
My dad would have loved you, Joe, but my mom would have probably had a problem because she would have been like, "Why are you encouraging him to buy more?"
I would
stuff?
encourage you to buy more. Yes, there's
Of
no
course.
question about that.
Are you kidding? Of course. That's your job.
Yes,
I know it's
my
his job, but
yes.
like I know how my dad was, man, and my mom would have thought, oh, but what comic books you got? Like she would have had her own, but still, like just oh my god, my dad would have gotten such a kick out of that stuff. But like he used to the way that he would store the records, he would have like not like just the milk crates, but like he would have like nice boxes for them.
Right.
And what we discovered when we would move out of the studio is that a lot of his music gear was piled up on top of it that became like the basis of a table.
Yeah.
So like we're like, wait, is that really what's holding it up?
But
And
I
it's
think
like, yes.
this is what happens with most collectors. You know, you start with one item, then you get 5, then you get 10, then you got to figure out how to incorporate it. We did a milk bottle collection here, literally right down the road here, and he had 10,000 milk bottles, and they were all displayed, if you can believe that.
Wait,
it was
milk
displayed.
bottles?
Milk
Yeah.
bottles,
Oh my
yes.
God, yeah.
And they were all New Jersey farms, which was really cool. And it was like, I called it the history of milk bottles, or the history of milk is what I called it. And it was got cookies,
Like
I think I called it.
Slew-
Got cookies.
Slewfoot Farms.
Is it just like a history of like the different like organizations that have
Let me
done it
tell
over
you,
the
you
years?
can't believe how many
I
dairies there
really-
are in the state
I
of New Jersey,
have no
or
idea
throughout the
about
world,
this.
the whole United States. But you think about it, back in the day, you had the milkman. The milkman would come and deliver you milk, and you would have all these kind of milk bottles from all the different farms and all the different towns. Some towns had 10, 15 different farms that delivered milk to you. So it was a big thing. So he had milk bottles from the turn of the century through the 1950s up to present day, literally wall to wall in his basement, all the way around. It went, and it was all displayed, and they put little styrofoam, so it looks like it's white little styrofoam, so it looks like you have milk in there. So it's kind of cool, the way it's displayed.
That's awesome.
But he had what you're talking about. So we're down in the basement going, we thought we were done, and under the stairs, open it up, there's another room under the stairs filled with probably another 200 milk bottles displayed.
You
It
hoarder.
was like a secret room, you know?
Of course.
Not whore. You hoarder.
Yeah, exactly.
Now-
That's a load-bearing long box, so you stay away from that.
Now that was another collection. There you go. So that was another collection backbreaker. Think about milk bottles. Think about a bottle, how heavy it was. All right, those tubs, every tub we
Oh
took,
my god.
And
heavy.
you have to not break
heavy,
them.
and you can't break it. They're pretty durable.
They are, but still, they're
You don't want spilled
They're
milk.
durable for
You're going to cry over that spilled milk. That's for damn sure. And think about this, Christian, because even back in the day, they used to have local bottling plants for soda. So there's a place over on the other side of Red Bank called Crates. Still there. It's right next to the Wawa. They used to bottle their own soda. It was part of the Genovese crime family. One of their legitimate outlets. My family used to...
Let's just make sure.
Yes, I want to make sure because I'm about to talk about felonies for my family. No, my family used to get our sodas from there, and they would deliver it because Crates used to deliver.
Whoa.
And we would get
They were coming glass?
They would come in glass bottles, of course.
The only
Everything
way
was
to
glass
drink it,
bottles.
really, too.
Yeah.
In glass.
Oh my God. Yes.
Soda?
Tastes so much.
Yeah.
Soda,
Coke bottles?
milk, all that.
Oh,
Much
yeah.
better in glass.
Oh yeah. That's why
Maybe we're missing out on a market here in 2024.
Are you kidding? Yes.
Who wants soda in glass now?
You can get it. It's
Yeah, you
out there.
can.
Even milk is out there. If you like, there's only like one brand that does it in glass. But if
Yes.
you get it in glass, oh my God, it tastes so much better. So much better.
Trust me on that one. And
I
it costs
believe-
more
no,
money.
I believe it. I believe it.
And
100%.
well,
believe it.
but you also have to get it from a farm, like from Pennsylvania,
Yep.
where
yep.
they don't do the pasteurization
Correct.
because
So it's
fresh
gonna be
milk?
fresh
fresh milk is so much better than pasteurized milk.
process.
So much.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Because I'm not going to say that I've illegally gotten any, because that would be foolish of me to say here. But I can imagine getting some and tasting it and having it be the freshest thing you've ever had, and have to drink it within 2 days.
It's like Amish black market milk.
It's amazing. Amazing.
But
Dude, in the trench coat top hat.
exactly. Yes.
One buy some
One
milk.
buy some milk. Exactly. No, but that milk
with
collection.
the just the beard, no mustache. Dost thou want to buy some milk, English?
That milk bottle collection was crazy, because that was probably one of the largest collections of New Jersey bottles around. And before the sale, there was, I watch all these sales, because we have them up for 2 weeks, and I'm watching every day, watching them progress, and nobody's bidding. I'm like, oh my God, all this work. I spent 5 days there cataloging it, photographing it, moved it all up from a basement, right? I'm going, I'm going to lose my ass here. And then sale day came, and it brought like 60,000 for milk bottles, and I was like, thank God.
Oh, God.
Thank
You kidding?
God.
People, yeah, there was all the Amish guys who were like, you know what, Bernard, I need you to go to your Mennonite friends and broker a deal to use their computer, will you?
It's something like that, exactly. But it was amazing. It was amazing. But this comic collection, very similar, except for its comics. Not
Oh,
milk
dear
bottles.
Lord, yes. They, I mean, this was a backbreaker.
Yes.
This was one of those. I mean, I had done one previous for Joe, and this was great. And 99% of the work was done for me. So you come in, and all I got to do is like pop out this one is worth $10,000. This one's worth $4,000. This one's worth $3,000. It was great. And this run is worth $400. And that's what you get when you're getting stuff from the Silver Age, legitimate Silver Age. This is legitimate, modern.
So comic college hat for
Yes.
a minute. It's been a little while. So
Love
Silver Age comic books, that's they tend to go based on the lot size. Is that what you were kind of saying?
Blue chip. No, because no, they don't. But there's a more
Because I bet there's still like famous individualized comic books.
There are.
'Cause, I mean, that.
but there's a more logical breakdown of like, oh, I can get this one where you've got Peter Parker when he starts in college from like number 43, where he and Harry Osborn, where they're
significant events.
Yes,
too.
and he's introduced, and Gwen Stacy's introduced, and here we've got the Rhino, and you go from that lot to over here, but you can pull out single issues like the first Rhino,
Okay.
or the first first John Jameson with superpowers. You pull that one out. You go to 122 and 121 and 122, the death of Gwen and the Green Goblin. And you're like, those two go together.
And I think too, when you look at the older comics, you had 3 or 4 people putting it out. So it's like, okay, bang, bang, bang. Now you have 100 different companies putting out different stories, maybe thousands of different companies.
And how many variant covers can you have?
Right. So
See,
when you're
that's the thing too, is like the variant covers is probably where it gets really confusing. I would assume.
I think it's just that people collect when you're looking at the Silver Age, there's only a few, and then when you get into the modern, then there's so much of it out there that there's only a couple issues that are a diamond in the rough. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think that's the
Of
best
course,
way
yeah.
of approaching
What
it.
years would you define the Silver Age?
The Silver Age is from 1954. And I'll even give you specific comic book numbers. Showcase number 4 until I think about 1969, 1970. I would say like Submariner number 1 is the declination right there. That's Submariner. Let me see what else. Or the end of the Kirby Stan Lee run on Fantastic Four.
Ooh, okay.
Jack Kirby's end, which would be 10. Scott, help me out here. Is it 109 or 108? Fantastic Four. 108 or 109? Thank you, Scott.
He'll tune in. We'll just wait on the comment.
Oh, and Darren Tucci's here. Very nice. Like that too. He's absolutely right. And you've got
109.
109. There you go. Thank you. I know it was one of those. Because that was once Kirby left Fantastic Four, that was the end of an era.
Right.
So, boom.
And I
Done.
think when you're looking at Silver Age, I mean, you're collecting it because you love it, but you're also thinking more of an investment versus the newer stuff. There's so much of it out there. It's hard.
It was a speculation market back in the let's throw that right out there, like the death of Superman. Once they started doing gimmicky things like the death of Superman, let's make Superman relevant again by killing him.
Yep.
Oh, like when they death of Robin and stuff like that.
That was the beginning of the speculation market, the speculators market. So yes, but not quite yet. Death of Superman, Spider-Man #1, X-Men #1 by Jim Lee, Spider-Man #1 by Todd McFarlane. When the creator became the sole reason for the comic, I think that's when it really hit. And then Image, when everybody jumped ship at Marvel and went over to Image, and they're like, "Screw you, Marvel. We'll see you later." That's when you had like Marvel tanking, and you had Image, be the place where all the creators went because they could share in the profits and they all had a stake in the company.
Right.
They didn't have the most original ideas, but at least the comic books looked great and they were exciting. And it like jazzed up the collector mentality. And a lot of people who were, let's say, on the fence about, should I collect comics or not? Boom, it hit, and they're like, shit, yeah, I'm going to collect comics.
Yeah.
Because, goddamn, look, we've got Spawn #1, sold 1 billion copies. I don't have the exact total numbers, but
It's sold a fuck ton.
And we
sold
probably
a fuck
have
ton.
Spawn 1 in this.
You've got
collection.
like 50 Spawn #1.
Yeah, I think there's Spawn 1s in there.
There was one Spawn that there were 97 copies of.
Yeah, right.
So I was like, holy fucking shit. 97. Who needs 97 copies?
Yeah, that's a speculation right there.
Of Spawn number, and I forget what one it was, but I'm like, oh my
Homeboy was
God.
just like, Spawn's gonna be big.
Yeah. No. And it wasn't even like Spawn #1. It was Spawn like 19. I'm like, what are you doing?
Right.
You lunatic.
It's like speculating on Furbies or Beanie Babies and things of that nature. But I think comics, you have a little more do better than the Beanie Babies. That's
we always do a rollback when it comes to that because you get these creators with their oh my God, we've got die cut covers and gold and silver and platinum and
4 million Spawn
Yes.
#1s.
There you
8
go.
million X-Men.
8 million
I believe
X-Men
it.
#1. Yes,
I believe it.
of course. 8 million X-Men #1. I think that number goes even higher when you factor in all of the comics that they
Oh, it
put
has
out.
to.
X-Men. No, I'm saying X-Men #1 because they had 1, 2, 3, 4. I think it's 5 separate covers. One was a gatefold, which put all the other 4 together
In one.
in one. Yes, and you're like, holy what is going on? And it was on higher grade paper.
I would assume that's the more valuable one. I'm assuming those are literally like limited, smaller runs for those for that kind of book.
What, the gatefold?
Yeah, because that seems special.
It's-
I'm listen.
Yeah,
I don't
it's
know
special.
here.
Put on your comics college cap. No, because it was like one of those things that people are like, you know what? It's sort of like our economy now. It's like, keep printing the money. Who cares?
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
There's a lot there. I think there's special things within the collection and what makes the collection interesting, and they are full runs, and he does have lots of variants and independence and things like that, but it's going to be sold in bulk where, it's going to be 10 cents on the dollar, probably what he paid, out of all honesty. I mean, 'cause a lot of these books these days, what, $6 to $10 a piece now.
Right. But the nice thing is that any speculators out there, and you know what, I'm kind of trying to get these people jazzed about that because it's going to be a really fun auction.
Yeah, no, it is, and not even that. I don't think he looked at any of them. It's not like he
No,
read them.
he didn't read any of them.
No, it's like they're like the day they came off of like your
Of course.
shelf. You know?
Or he's like, you know what? I'm going to sit down this weekend
Was he just
and
kind of,
read my 97 copies of Spawn number 19.
was he just someone who was like, oh, this may be a valuable investment and just kind of
Yes.
stacked them away?
Yeah,
Versus
absolutely.
being like, I'm a nerd, I'm married to them, like kind of deal.
I think he was speculating that this was going to be his retirement. That's the impression.
If
that
you
I
go
got.
up a little bit right there, that Justice, that's Alex Ross, the Justice comics. Now, this is a perfect example. He's got
I'll put it up on
1 through 12, but there's multiple copies and multiple variants on this. And it's such a cool run that, and I'm surprised it's in 6 days and 16 hours. I might just bid on this. I don't know. I'm going to do that. But,
There you go.
there you go.
You can raise your hand.
bidding on
Your
this?
money's good too.
I'm buying the Ghostbusters
Actually,
lot.
no.
Here we are.
No, I've got somebody who is going to be bidding for me. So
There you
no,
go.
not shill bidding, but I'm going to be actually bidding on this lot and a couple others because there's
None of your business.
yeah, damn straight. But there's like a lot of exciting things in this, which I was like, when I first saw him, I was like, oh my god, this is gonna hurt so bad.
Right,
And,
right.
it sort of did, but it was like so awesome that once, like towards the end, I was like, I was trying to hit that. You wanted to do at least 150. How many did we end up with? 150 lots.
We have 200 lots in the sale, but it's not all his. There's a small
Okay.
other collection in there of nicer key issues.
Cool.
And then there's some charity auctions at the beginning for our toy
Fantastic.
drive coming up. So
Oh, is that the comics, the mystery box?
the mystery boxes.
There's a mystery box,
Yes.
and I'm also going to, and if anybody's interested out there, I'm going to add at least another $50 worth. No, let's make it 100. At least
All right.
another $100 worth of silver / copper, bronze age books to put in there.
All right. Well, I appreciate that.
At
Very
least.
good. Yes,
of course.
Thank you very much.
My pleasure. Our pleasure. Actually, it's
Yeah,
the Julie and my thing.
The first 8 lots are for our charity. We actually donate 600 toys, or I shouldn't say 600. We give toys out to the community in New Brunswick, New Jersey every single year. This will be the 8th year that we're doing it. And we have a toy drive. My wife actually wraps every single present, all 600 of them, by herself every night at watching TV. She wraps about
Maureen, you're awesome. Maureen
Yes,
Bodnar.
Maureen is
Everybody,
awesome.
yes.
Absolutely. And
I'd watch that podcast.
we give it to
Watching Maureen wrapping presents while she's watching Castle.
there you go.
Hell yeah. Castle commentary, wrapping toys.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Like, I'm
God
cool with
damn,
that.
Nathan Fillion's
So-
a hot mess.
So every year, literally, it grows. We have a real Santa. The real Santa comes. He donates his time too. We appreciate that. But Santa
That's
comes
dope.
out. Every person comes in. They meet Santa. We give them cookies. We give out a gift to the children. So, and
Scott wants
every
to
year
know
is like
what
600.
charity this is. He would love to donate.
Oh, so this is through Bodnar's auction, and right on bodnarsauction.com, right on the top and the homepage, there's a toy drive. You click on toy drive, and you would donate on the GoFundMe there. Or if you're coming to the actual sale, you can give us cash when you come pick up your comics that you're about to buy next Thursday or Wednesday, I should say, or GoFundMe, or you can send us a donation either way. But basically, I've been running it under Bodnar's Auctions Holiday Toy Drive. My father's a pastor in New Brunswick at the Byers Street Presbyterian Church. Been there 52 years. So it's basically through the church, but we run it. That's basically the
awesome.
situation. So
I've loved it. We've been, Jay and Silent Bob's been donating for the past year or two.
I'm going to say 3. I'm going to
Three?
say it's been 3
Wow,
years. Yeah,
3
because last year when we did Kevin Smith's sale, we sold some stuff and it
That's
did
right,
very, very
yes.
well. I think the year before that, I hit you up and you gave us something. You raised about $1,000 worth of stuff you donated.
Hell yeah!
So
All right.
we're hoping that we want you to donate as much as you can. If not, it comes out of my pocket, and that's okay too. So, but it's a great
I'd
event.
rather have
You
us
know,
donate.
There was my buddy Charles was commenting before, and a lot of what he does with like the Ghostbusters stuff is they do a lot of toy drives and stuff like that. If there's any way that like we could help with stuff like that.
Yeah, no,
That'd be
absolutely. We appreciate it. Absolutely.
Oh, the Ghostbusters. Oh,
Yeah, because
man.
well, I don't know if you know this, Joe, but like a lot of what Ghostbuster fans tend to do is they create their own factions of Ghostbusters to do charity work.
Oh,
So there's Jersey Ghostbusters, there's New York Ghostbusters,
cool.
there's the Central PA Ghostbusters.
All right.
They're everywhere.
There's the Michigan Ghostbusters, which I'm honorary
you're a
member
member
of.
of?
Yeah.
Cool.
And then my buddy Charles is a part of the Long Island Ghostbusters.
Okay.
So they do a
Your
lot
buddy
of
Charles, my buddy too, who's never invited me.
our
to
buddy
be,
Charles.
Yeah,
There you go.
never invited me to be a member of the Long Island Ghostbusters.
Yeah, by all means, just contact me and we can definitely do something.
Would
You
love
guys can
to.
do anything. Absolutely. We appreciate it very much.
That'd be
you guys-
so dope.
You know,
Oh.
pre-pandemic,
we'll escort Santa.
yeah, there you go.
One.
Well,
That would be so dope.
you know, it's interesting. Pre-pandemic, we used to do the toy drive, and at the auction, we used to have everyone raise their hand who wants to donate $5 right now. And I was easy to raise $3,000 to $5,000 at the auction.
$5 donation.
Then
Raise your
we
hand.
went pandemic hit, and now we're online, and everybody's hiding behind their computer. Nobody gives money. I'll be honest with you, it's very difficult. It's an
Yeah.
extremely difficult
'Cause-
situation.
But it's one of those things that people are like, I
is.
don't know where it's going. But if you're like, hey, anybody but $5, it's like, here's $5. Could you throw it? And it's like, it makes you feel immediately gratified.
Yes, absolutely.
So that's what I understand about that. But that's why I love in-person stuff.
Yeah, no, I don't disagree. I mean, I just did a benefit auction for the Bonnie Bray Association about a month ago, and the same kind of deal where it's in person, and we call it Sprinkle a Little Bray, and people raise their hand and they're donating $500, $1,000,
Aw.
just like that. We raised like 15,000 in just people raising their hands like that. It's amazing.
That's dope.
Yeah, no, that's a great organization too, because they help kids that are either got caught up in drugs or came up with a family that had those kind of issues, and they live on campus and they get through it and work through it. So that's a real good organization as well. So
That's awesome.
Yep.
Any way we could help, we would.
well, I
love
appreciate that very, very much.
Are
Absolutely.
you volunteering, Charles?
Yeah, I'm volunteering, Charles. I
I
don't give a
love
fuck.
it.
He'll
Charles,
love it.
you better love this, Charles.
No, he will.
I know
He'll
he
get
will.
a kick out of this.
Charles is awesome.
I'm gonna send him the
They
link.
literally, I kid you not, the kids, they start lining up at 8:00 in the morning, the families, and it literally goes around the whole church block where it's almost 2 blocks down the road by the time we open at 12 noon.
Damn, that's awesome.
It's unbelievable. It's a great event. It's a really, really great event. So
You should podcast from there. Ooh.
This is what I'm saying.
Yes, no, that could be-
Podcasts from everywhere, everybody.
There you
very,
go.
very true.
Just podcast. That's all I'll say. I'm literally messaging this.
I just had another interesting sale. I just had an auction. I auctioned people. Can you believe that?
Yes, actually, this is an awesome. I want him to tell this story because Maureen came in. Now I'm going to set this up. So Maureen comes in. Maureen, Joe's wife, comes in and says, Joe is on the phone with the
because we abolished this quite a long time ago.
Joe was on the phone with the Cricket League, and I was like, well, that's weird.
Yes.
I'm, full-size crickets or, I find them most annoying, but how do you communicate? And she's like, no, the cricket, the bat. Yeah. And I was like, oh, I thought it was the insect. So I was like, oh, thank God, because I thought y'all were insane. And she said, no, Joe is going to be auctioning off human beings, which I have a huge problem with. And I said, well, are these people getting paid for what Joe is going to be doing for them? And she's like, of course. Everyone's got a cap, and it's sort of like the NBA draft.
Yeah, it's like the draft.
But with cricket. And I'm like, but it's cricket.
Okay.
And Maureen's like, yes, but I still don't know how I feel about it. I said, are they getting a living wage? And she's like, I would assume so. I said, let's not jump to conclusions because it's cricket. So, but
Who's out here swimming in old cricket money?
Exactly. Yeah, there's not a lot of people I know who came up to me and was like, you know what, that
I invested in big cricket.
Big cricket, and I'm telling you, I really pulled a googly. And anybody who knows cricket knows what a googly is. And I made a fucking funny joke there. So I'm like, but Joe is not auctioning off human beings. He's auctioning off their contracts.
Basically, it was their contracts. Yes.
There you go.
So, but it was quite interesting. So this was like Well, first off, this is all over the news media overseas, like in India and England and everything else. They contacted me a week beforehand. They didn't have an auctioneer. Can you come in auctioneer? So I was like, well, I don't know. I cut a deal and I went. And it was quite interesting. There were 6 teams. We auctioned off 134 players, and it was basically auctioning off. They had a gross amount, a cap. So most players were 25,000 or 20,000, 15,000, and they had a minimum that you couldn't go below 15 or 10,000. And we did like a practice run the day before because this was all televised overseas. And actually, it's not even out yet. It's supposed to happen in November, I guess, because this was a private sealed event that they did beforehand. And they have the big event, I guess, next month. So this is top secret information I'm about to give right here. But
oh, yeah. Well, I know that the cricket masters are out there going, hey, let's shut these blokes down, shall we?
Big
Sons of
Cricket's
bitches.
listening.
Big Cricket is listening.
They might be. I don't know. But so I go and literally it was funny because during the practice run, all the owners, there's 6 teams, right? And all the owners are going like, we're going to practice. I'm like 25,000. And they're like, hey, 25. All right. And then the one guy goes, well, I bid first. No, I bid first. No, I bid first. And they're having arguments and fighting with me. And I'm like, listen, guys, I'm the judge. This is who it is. Whoever I have first, that's who gets it. And then there would be like multiple bidding. And they're like, here. And another guy's jumping in the back wanting to get in. And I didn't take his bid. And he's like all pissed off and like throwing a fit that I didn't take his bid. I'm like, well, I have 2 people. Once they're drop, I'll take you. It's this big thing. Totally, they were all the owners were getting very upset with me, right? I'm going, what the hell did I get myself into? And they're going to be throwing cricket balls at me. Like, oh, what the hell?
It's fucking hard.
The worst thing they'll do is yell poppycock at you and storm out.
I don't know, man.
maybe take your shoes off and throw it at me or something.
What these shitbags did to India? Holy fuck!
Maybe they'll take one of their gloves off and just slap you with it.
I don't know, man. So I leave rehearsal and I'm going, holy shit, man, what did I get myself into?
These are the guys that defeated the fucking Romans, so let's not
call your cricket team the Buddy Hollies.
So sale day comes and I auction the first person off. 25,000. Nobody bids. 25, 10, 15, pass. Next guy, pass. Next guy, pass. Nobody's bidding. I'm going, what the hell? Here they were all yelling like, oh, I got to be in first and this, that, and everything else. It was quite interesting. We sold about, I would say probably a quarter of the players got picked up. And it was really interesting because some of the owners were like right at the top. They wanted that player. They were right in at the top bid done. And other ones, they bid a little bit and they were kind of looking at each other, don't bid against me, and they would bid each other up a little bit. The owners, it was quite funny. But then I guess whoever didn't get sold through the auction process then goes into a lottery or something of that nature. But I guess their prices come down
or
at that
chucked
point.
in the wood chipper in the back.
I don't know.
Throw them on the pile. We'll get around to chipping them later.
The one thing I found out that I thought was real interesting, though, that one of the owners told me that these cricket stadiums or the field that they play on, they literally bring the dirt over from India, and it has to be specially like pounded down for 6 months to make it become like this very bouncy stadium, and that's very sacred and everything else. And I was going, wow, man, it sounds like Dracula.
Yeah,
where they're bringing it out, right?
These fuckers are vampires.
Yeah, no, they're bringing the dirt from Hungary, over to Dracula.
I'm a cricket vampire, there, love.
Maybe we do want big cricket money. Holy
I don't
shit!
know. It was quite interesting. So I mean, these teams spent like 200, 300,000 on cricket leagues here for their teams.
How much for the dirt? The dirt was free.
I don't know.
All you have to do is buy the ticket.
It's quite interesting.
The cricket people.
So first off, they wanted me to. They had a script for me, right? And they wanted me to announce every player, right? So they wanted me to announce every player. I said, listen, man, I don't do names. I'm bad at names. I could call numbers all day long, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. But if you're going to ask me to have all these names, there's no way. It's going to be a comedy show. I'm going to fuck up every name,
Oh, yeah.
So they hired this actress to come in, and she stood next to me, and she announced every name, and then I would auction off, and then she would hit every name and everything off. And that was quite interesting as well, But she was an inspiring actress is what I found out. She just came out of actress school.
Oh, gotcha.
So it was a quite interesting production. I can't wait to see.
The diction was very good of her, though.
She was decent, yes.
Homogeneja Petalon.
That's how it was, man.
Yes.
No, that's why I did not want to say the names, man. I was like, I can't even pronounce these names.
You can, I mean,
listen,
like try saying our name in auction.
I know.
No, man, it doesn't
Not that, but it's like Naga not going to be playing
Mike
cricket
Zapsik, Christian
this year.
Cortez, Mike Zapsik, Christian Cortez. Nope,
Oh, no,
doesn't work.
Mike
Doesn't-
Zapsik, no.
I can't even say your name. We
No,
came across that at the last auction.
Christian Cortez, Christian Cortez, Christian Cortez, Christian Mike
I know.
Zapsik,
Mike
Zapsik, 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 Zapsik,
Even I'm like-
Zapsik.
I get bored with the last.
I can go Betty.
There you go.
Wow.
Much better.
That's
More better.
And that's a funny story. I literally just posted our auction for 3 weeks from now. We have a collection of Betty Boop, right?
Yes, I've seen this. I'm
And
showing
this morning,
all of it.
I
You like Betty Boop?
Yeah, well, yeah.
Of course you do.
Yes.
So Betty Boop. So last night, 10 o'clock at night, I'm posting the catalog. I'm doing my paragraph, but I didn't proofread it. Set it up. I put Betty Boobs.
Nice. Perfect.
And I didn't even catch it. So
Nice.
it was on there, big collection
Nice.
of Betty Boobs. And to this morning, I started getting the phone calls. You're selling Betty Boobs, not Betty Boop.
Yes, both.
Yeah.
I'm selling both.
I said, at least you're reading my advertising.
it's
So
not there no more.
Betty Boobs.
no, it's my wife fixed it already.
Maureen is such a good girl.
But we got the boobs. We were selling boobs in 3
Damn
weeks.
straight. And hey, you got it out there. You put it out on Main Street, so now people
Exactly.
know what they're getting.
Oh,
That's
this
awesome.
is so cool.
Yeah, no, but a big collection of Betty Boop. That's what's
And
coming
with
up.
her big Betty boobs.
And her Betty Boobs. Exactly.
Fantastic.
So dope.
But yeah, no, the full runs are quite interesting. Then there's key issues that we have in the upcoming sale
Yes,
as well.
very excited about that. There's some. There's a Hulk 181. You got Avengers
Yes.
#1.
Yes, and
Avengers
Avengers
#2.
#1.
Some key early Spider-Mans.
Yes.
There's the 181 Avengers, Daredevil #1.
Yep, Daredevil #1's in there as well.
I think Amazing Spider-Man 129.
And they're in great condition.
yes, those are I looked at them. They're
Yes.
beautiful.
Yes, no, those are all in very good
Yeah.
condition as well. But I see you got Disney is what we just got done. I was in
Christian. How did this one go?
this one's coming. This is with this.
This is the
with
this
the
is
Betty
the day
Boop.
before.
Yeah, no, this is actually
After.
This is the Betty Boobs. We
Oh,
have
my apologies. I
Disney.
thought this
We
was-
have animation art
Nice.
and Betty Boop. But there is some animation art in there. There's some great Looney Tunes in there that Gossamer with Bugs Bunny and Daffy Duck is
Wait,
in
what
there.
Gossamer do you have?
Go down just a little bit more. Keep going, and right there.
Dude, I have a cell from the same cartoon.
Really
Yeah.
cool.
I had it growing up in my house. Oh my God, I still have it. That's so wild.
I'm going to tell you a couple things that there were multiple.
Well, there's thousands of frames in one cartoon.
True, but they did this in multiple cartoons, so they made so they could be different. There was the Chuck Jones Gossamer, and then there was Fritz Freeling's Gossamer.
Fritz Freeling.
Yeah, it's Fritz. Fritz was I loved Fritz.
This is Chuck's.
Whoa. Yeah, that's a Chuck.
He's
You
cool.
can tell Chuck always had Bugs Bunny had like eyeshadow. It was very odd. If you take a look at his
distinct, you know.
well, yeah, it did make him distinct, but I thought it also made him stink. I was not a big Chuck Jones fan. I know, heresy. What can I tell you? Not a big Bugs Bunny Roadrunner hour fan. I like the originals.
Well, I get the originals are good too. I don't disagree. But I just watched Bugs Bunny this past Saturday. Actually, I like Bugs Bunny. Me TV.
Bugs is awesome.
I love the Me TV cartoon.
Right, the Me TV is great, man.
That's so good. They do reruns of Real Ghostbusters. I was like, oh, I'm a fan already.
Right.
But no, they do great cartoon blocks. Oh my God, that's so funny. Really, you don't like?
You know what I do, because everything sort of has that Grinch vibe to it.
I guess it does. I see what you're
Yeah,
saying.
well, okay,
It's the Grinch vibe, and I love the Grinch Who Stole Christmas. Love it because it's a Chuck Jones original of a Dr. Seuss. However, you're fucking with Bugs Bunny when you're talking about Tex Avery, Fritz Freeling. You had the giants. You had these guys who, I mean, Mad Scientist, boo. Mad Scientist, boo. I mean, they fucked with that. Chuck Jones fucked with that, which kind of pissed me off as a kid. And I was
I want to talk about this a little more
We will.
on another episode.
Oh my God, we
because
will.
I'm curious about this because Chuck Jones for me has always been like one of those like elite animators. Like I've always looked at his stuff as like, oh my God, because I've always thought that his style is it's interesting because I'm not knocking it because I see where you're coming from, but I'm like I just find it very interesting. It's the literally first time I've ever.
I think it's just a generational thing because if you watch even the new Looney Tunes, I can't watch the new Looney Tunes because like the voices are different, the setup's a little bit different.
Oh yeah, new Looney Tunes.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Weird.
It's just like it's like an imposter.
I understand that, and even the Jellystone, the jelly,
the new Jellystone,
the Jellystone, yeah, that where Yogi Bear is he's a surgeon.
He's a doctor.
Yeah, he's a doctor.
I love Jellystone. The show.
So do I. And I can watch the Looney Tunes where Bugs and Daffy are roommates.
Right.
I can watch that with Kristen Wiig as Lola, right?
Yeah, Looney Tunes show. Wow.
Yeah.
That's a
the
great
Looney
show.
Tunes show.
Yeah. Oh my God. I can watch that like forever. But there's certain things like the Tom and Jerry, the Chuck Jones Tom and Jerry have a very distinct, and it's like a mental thing, I guess. But when, that little dog.
Oh, it's like you notice there's a shift.
Yeah, of course you do.
Okay, you know what? I can understand that because I to relate something of my generation, you can distinctly know the two different generations of SpongeBob. Because like for us, SpongeBob is like kind of our Looney Tunes. Like, I mean, to be fair, like at least in terms of scope and people caring, like Bugs Bunny will always be Bugs Bunny. But like SpongeBob was huge for us.
Of course it was.
But there is a point where like I don't watch it. Like I only watch like certain seasons of SpongeBob. Like you guys were talking about like I know it past this point and that's about it.
Same thing with the Simpsons.
It's Simpsons, Chuck Jones.
Yeah, Simpsons. I go up to season 14 and then it gets choppy and iffy. It's almost and to get out of the animation thing, it's like watching Saturday Night Live.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that too is a generational thing because, and remember we were talking about this, was it last week or the week? No, it was the week before about I am aging out of funny.
Oh yeah, that was an interesting.
And that's true.
It's true
because there's
based on what you find funny is not what.
Right. What is mainstream funny? But I'm still there.
Isn't that a weird thought, Joe? Like
but that's true. I listen. I can't stand Saturday Night Live right now, but I loved it through the '90s and even some of the early stuff with Chevy Chase and all them. I like that too. But you get into like the last 5 to 8 years here, I can't get into it, man. And I agree. Their funny is not my funny anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
And it goes to even stand-up comedians. So you're sitting there going, "Oh, okay." Boom. It's like that's pretty damn awesome. And then you realize that you're like, "Oh shit, Milton Berle is closer to my funny than what the fuck is wrong with me?" And I'm sitting here going,
absolutely nothing.
So much.
Milton Berle is fucking funny.
except when you realize that when
Says the 30-year-old.
Yeah, right. Exactly, because you're about nostalgic
I'm a
funny.
baby. Yeah.
You're like, Milton Berle is hilarious. From the one thing I saw him in.
Multiple things.
All right,
I've
good
seen
enough.
him.
Well,
like
that's
Jerry.
also because of your father.
Jerry Lewis,
Mom and Dad.
he
I was raised
stands
right.
this tale of time, right? I mean, Jerry Lewis, I think, is fantastic too. But that's way.
But that's
before my
also
time.
because you're French.
So Hungarian. But yes,
But I basically I just wanted to say that like I hope that I've just always heard unanimous praise for Chuck Jones. That it was weird to hear it was literally the first time I've heard it in an opposite view, and it made sense. Like I literally was just fascinated by it. Like it really wasn't like a what the fuck, Mike.
I'm
Like,
not. I'm not trying to be a dick about it. I mean,
no, not at all. Like I literally was just like, whoa, okay. Like I want to hear it.
Yeah.
So like, thank you.
Of course. But it's like people's teams of X-Men. Also, let's get back to the comic book nerd in us. For me, it's always going to be the John Byrne era where you have Wolverine, Nightcrawler, Storm, Colossus.
Carl just made a reference to one of my favorite Milton Berle movies.
Oh, it's a mad world.
Sailing
that's
right out
such
there.
a great word. Such a great
I
movie.
love that
out
movie.
and he kicked the bucket.
And Jim Backus as the drunk pilot. That was great. I loved him.
Oh, I love that movie.
I mean, you talk about we don't see that anymore. We don't see that level of where you have comedians banding together.
No.
To do like an ensemble
we don't have
thing.
ensemble things unless it's like
you're right.
superhero.
It's true.
Like a lot of that really got morphed into that. Like you don't really even see big budget comedies anymore like that. And when you do, they're typically like it's either like an action comedy or like it's something melded with it.
But the only comedies that that in the past 10 years that I found to be humorous are the ones that are done by the people whose sensibilities are closer to mine.
A lot of because I feel like a lot of the more like old school senses of comedy, like even though like you say you're aging out of what's funny, I still think that there's aspects of what you and I find funny that I think is universal. Like I think that those stylings of comedy are still being used as influence in a lot of what like things that like I watch. Like I know that I named SpongeBob, but like I can look at those shows and my early cartoons and see ridiculous influences from all over the place, especially in those like in that era of like Milton Berle and those guys, like because those comedy sensibilities are hilarious and always will be.
Like the Farrelly brothers.
Yeah.
Like Ricky Stenicki to me was in the past 5 years one of the funniest things I have ever seen.
Right.
If you get a chance, go on Prime. It's on there. I've watched it like 3 times.
Oh yeah, I'll have to check that out.
John Cena is a miracle.
Right.
He is literal. I'm like, holy crap. And I mean, I'm going to be, this is me being unfaithful to my boss, unfortunately, because he's got a well-known feud with John Lovitz. But you know what else I find amusing? Those, the FanDuel commercials with John Lovitz.
Oh, where he's like the
Go Browns, Browns. But the thing that it makes me laugh constantly is him when the guy's brushing his teeth and he bends over to spit in the sink and all you see is Lovitz he's in the shower standing there with this big fucking grin on his face. Every time it cracks me up. I'm like, and I'm supposed to hate this man. I am. I'm supposed to hate John Lovitz.
Because you realize like a lot of older comedy bits are also based in like physical humor where that's not really a thing anymore.
Of course.
Like a lot of newer humor is just really kind of going for like, let me just be as personal and as rude as I possibly can.
Yeah.
Whereas older comedy, while yes, it still did have those sensibilities. Like look at even like Don Rickles. He was like, I'll make fun of everybody, but I'll make you laugh and make you smile while doing it.
Right.
Whereas newer stuff is just like, I'm gonna be an asshole for the sake of being an asshole.
Yeah, exactly.
If you don't find it funny, fuck you.
Exactly. It's being a jerk off. And perfect example is the thing that happened up at Madison Square Garden.
Oh my god!
Because I mean, that was not that was
not a political show, but still.
No, we're not political. But this has nothing to do with politics. It was just a really stupid joke.
Yeah,
so
shitty thing to say.
And you don't go for that. You don't swing for the low hanging fruit. I mean, you can go ahead. Be my guest.
You don't have. There was a quote, and I'm really blanking on who said it, but it's like you don't have to aim low in comedy. It was something along those lines. I gotta find it, but it was.
You know what? Try to hit
punch up, don't punch down.
Exactly. Hit and the best thing you can do in baseball is to hit an what is it in park home run or in park double. Do that constantly. You're better off than everybody out there. And low hanging fruit is just stupid. Yeah, punch up. My God, that's the thing that boggles my mind these days is that you have to be smart to be funny, and there's just so many people who are not smart.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I thought the Seinfeld new movie was halfway decent. When was it? The toasted Pop-Tart movie?
Pop-Tart movie?
Yeah, the Pop-Tart movie. It was kind of Naked Gun feeling to it, you know?
I did enjoy it.
Yeah, I thought it was good.
Yeah. Which is why I'm nervous about this new Naked Gun movie. Did you know about this?
No, I didn't know about this.
It is Liam Neeson.
Really?
Not Leslie Nielsen. which
Which
when you when you think about it, is the same sensibilities that Zucker, Abrams, and Zucker went for in doing Airplane in the first place, was to get these guys who you perceive as
dramatic.
straight and dramatic, and like Peter Graves and Robert Mitchum and not Robert Mitchum, Robert Stack.
Okay.
And Leslie Nielsen, who wasn't he the captain of the Poseidon?
Yes, he was.
There you go. And he's like, I played comedy. I was in MASH, one episode of MASH. And I was like, oh, yeah, I remember that.
But it showed that, like, oh my God, like, yes, you have the dramatic chops, but you are an excellent deadpan comedian.
Yeah, of course. And he didn't even know that he was an excellent deadpan comedian. And Peter Graves didn't want to do the movie because he was like,
and don't call me Shirley.
Exactly. He didn't want to do the movie because he's like, this guy's a pedophile, right? I mean, I don't want to be a pedophile. He's like,
Right.
no, if you play it right, you're not going to come across as a pedophile. You're walking that tightrope.
Okay.
That
Yeah,
weird
yeah, yeah.
You
fucking
can do it, and it was fucking great.
Right,
He was
right.
perfect at it, and you never thought to yourself, like, after that, it's like, oh, you know what? Peter Graves, he looks like he likes little boys. You don't think that.
No, not at all.
You never did. You're like, oh my God, he's Peter Graves, and fucking he was great in Airplane.
Yes, he was.
Silver Knight
Absolutely.
Kyle has a question for you, Mike. What comic book creator appeared
Larry
in the-
Hama.
Wow, I didn't
Sorry,
even
buddy.
finish it. That's awesome. No, I've oh my God. I hope that this new Naked Gun movie is good because I cherish those original movies.
They're great.
They're so good.
They
I
are
like-
good.
Like that's what I mean when those comedic sensibilities are still beloved because they're just so fucking funny.
Yeah, no, and
Like-
and they go generational because like my 20-year-old son one morning came down when he woke up and I had the Naked Gun on and he got into it and he was like, "Man, that was fucking great."
Did you ever watch Police Squad?
Yes, Police Squad.
I saw it first run. Great. My favorite television show ever.
Okay.
And for my birthday this year, my wife got it for me on Blu-ray. All 6 episodes,
Right.
which she paid through the nose for. She's like, yeah, that was a lot of money for 6 episodes. I'm like, yes, but you have to watch it.
Right.
And it had Alan North in the George Kennedy role
Okay.
as his captain.
Right.
But Alan North
I'm with
was
you, Carlo.
also in Crazy People,
Okay.
which was another fucking hilarious movie that people just don't get.
Right.
Which is also this ties into those comedic sensibilities still working. They just announced that they're doing a new scary movie. And those scary movies really kind of fell in line with those kind of Naked Gun, those kind of ridiculous movies. And everybody I have posted about it with on social media is just excited. They're like, oh my God, all the new horror movies that we're going to be able to parody this
Yeah,
year.
really.
It's going to be so fun.
Miss Man.
Oh my God.
Right. Miss Man.
It's going to be great. So I think it just works. It just
Silver
works.
Knife Kyle's got it. That's right.
Wait, where's
Fribbles, Glims, Sony, Boney. Because actually, Crazy People is about an advertising executive who loses his fucking mind. He's played by Dudley Moore.
Okay.
And Daryl Hannah, they ship him off to a loony bin.
Right.
And I know that's not the technical term for it, but and they run the ads that he created while he was loony.
Okay.
And it had it was something called The Freak. And it's like, this movie is not just scary, it will fuck you up for life.
Okay.
And they're like, how the fuck did the fucking word fuck get in the New York fucking Times? And it was what's his name? JT Walsh played the and he was fucking in everything.
I've probably seen it. I remember the name
Daryl
of that movie.
Hannah,
It's been a long time since
Alan North was in it. He played the judge. It was a brilliant movie with a bunch of people that you're like, oh my God, this is amazing. And it was before the Dream Team.
Okay.
So if you ever get a chance, Crazy People, Dudley Moore, it was so great. It's like, and then the lunatics in the asylum
Right.
are out there like doing ads too, because they're doing truthful ads like Come in Jamaica.
Okay.
It's like not just come to Jamaica, come in Jamaica. Like, no, sir, we don't make any promises that you'll have sex in Jamaica. And it's like, oh my God, this is awesome. And it's like, do you sweat on relatively cool days? Do you know, and it's like, if you look like this, you're not just fat. You're a fat slob. You get a free plant. Metamucil, because I don't want to die of colon cancer. So there's like a run on Metamucil at the drugstore.
Right.
And the guy's like, sorry, folks, we have no more Metamucil. We had a run on Metamucil. Everyone's like, no, I don't want to die. Everyone's like, I don't want to die. And they're like, they're getting free plants. So it's fucking awesome. So, I mean, that's my sensibility. These things that have some relevance, it has a skeleton of a story,
yes,
but you hang the jokes on it. It's sort of like a Christmas tree, but with these funny ornaments.
Right.
That's what a comedy movie should be.
We were talking about how those movies don't really happen anymore. Not necessarily the scary movies, but just comedies that are the big ensembles. Someone pointed it out in the comments, and they're 100% right. That Pop-Tart movie really was a huge ensemble movie.
It was.
There was a lot of people in that film.
Yeah, there was a lot of cameos in there. Yes.
So take note, Hollywood. We want these things.
Yes,
we know that you're watching.
Yeah, no, and it was good. I enjoyed it. I actually thought it was great.
Speaking of great, this is probably one of my favorite recent episodes of this show. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Joe.
Joe, yes.
Well, thank you.
Joe, we love when you come on, man. It's so fun.
Thank you. I have a lot of fun coming out here. It takes me out of my building. So,
hey, listen, with an invitation, we will podcast from there. That place is dope.
Okay, cool. Very good. Sounds good.
And don't forget, go on BODNARsauction.com and watch us on next Wednesday. So we'll be podcasting live from there.
There you go. We can see.
Might be worth tuning in.
It's definitely worth tuning in for the comics.
Yes,
110%.
absolutely. That starts 11 a.m.
Touch
11
that
a.m.,
Ghostbusters lot, and we're going to throw hands.
There you go.
Because he's watching you folks.
I saw that comment, Scott. Don't think I didn't.
Oh, he did.
Yeah, I saw you. Thank you guys for watching. Catch you later. Have a great night. Peace.
Good night.
Hey kids, we're live at the secret stash with Mike, Julia, and Christian. It's a hella bash. Tune in and check out the podcast. We got the nerd button on repeat, and we're gonna smash. Come on in, and I can show you that we're open. Shoe polish on our signs, cause our locks are always broken. You need that view askew? You know we got you, dude. Showing gratitude and always smiling, never rude. Top 5 movie reviews and what's new. We bring another big gun.